it's not.
Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon to you, dear listener, dear watcher, dear individual. You're tuned in to the Midnight Radio, broadcasting from somewhere between the living and the dead. I'm your host, Makeeya, the ghost that refuses to rest. Don't worry, I only haunt the airwaves, not your bedrooms. Probably. It's a quiet night tonight, don't you think? The moon's glowing like a faded memory, the world's asleep, and it's just you and me. And maybe the occasional whispers from the beyond. Considering that this is our first official episode, let me tell you a bit more about myself. I wasn't exactly a design that's supposed to exist, but sometimes there are just some things that won't rest in peace. And I guess I'm one of them. I'm actually based on a real life identity, I guess, at some point. An IRL identity turned virtual, which honestly, the real life identity just doesn't feel right anymore. Still, this new me, the one you see right now, is heavily based off that, hence why I've always been saying I've crawled out of the grave. Now, about the Midnight Radio, there's really nothing special here, at least at this point. Just the fact that there are sometimes some things that's fascinating about a radio channel that just suddenly appears. Suddenly it's just there. Suddenly it's broadcasting and you hear me. You hear me right now, you hear me whenever. But at the same time, I just want this to be a cozy space. Not just for me, but to you too, my dear listener. And speaking of my dear listeners, I was talking about doing the pilot episode the other day and we actually got some letters. We'll see what we have here in just a short while. Hello, and welcome back to the Midnight Radio, broadcasting from somewhere between the living and the dead. Once again, I'm your host, Makeeya, the ghost that refuses to rest. Tonight's letters come from those who can't sleep. You know who you are. The ones lying awake, replaying old memories, whispering secrets into the dark. Don't worry, the dead don't mind listening. First letter says, Dear Midnight Host, it's 3:17 a.m. and I can't stop thinking about so many things. About work, about people who probably don't even think about me. I keep telling myself to sleep, to just forget about it all. But my brain just won't listen. What do you do when your thoughts won't shut up? This is actually very interesting because I think it's something that we all go through. We all have this, and it's natural, it's only human. The restless mind, and honestly, even ghosts know that feeling. When I can't quiet the noise, I imagine my thoughts as fireflies. I don't chase them. I just watch them blink, one by one, watch them fly by me, fly in front of me, until they fade into the night. Maybe, just maybe, your thoughts don't need to be silenced, just seen, and then gently let go. Let them pass. Let them know of your existence, but don't let them stay. Just watch them go by and learn from them. Next letter we have here, it says, Dear Midnight Host, Hi Makeeya. Someone I love isn't in my life anymore. Not because of death. They just drifted away. I see their names sometimes, or their faces in my memories, and it hurts. How do you stop missing someone who's still out there, but not with you? That's a haunting of its own, my dear. The living kind? where the ghost isn't just dead and just gone. You don't have to stop missing them, I think. You just learn to live with the echo. Every time you think of them, that's your heart proving it still knows how to care. Doesn't have to be caring for that person in general, but just caring. It still beats. It still knows how to feel. It's still you. And that's not weakness, my love. That's not weakness at all. That's just proof that you're alive. Next one. Let's see here. Hi, Makeeya. Everyone around me seems to be moving forward. New jobs, new love, new lives. I feel that I'm stuck. I feel like I'm wasting my time. How do I stop myself from feeling small? Honestly, my darling, even the moon takes its time to shine. Sometimes it's dark. Sometimes it's hiding behind the clouds. Sometimes it's not even shining at all. It's just there. I honestly think that you're not behind. No one is, I guess. You're just in a bit of a quiet chapter. You're just learning. Learning to live again. Learning to crawl out of your own grave. The world generally has loud seasons, you know? Loud seasons, and sometimes there are soft ones. Soft ones that allow us to just live in the silence for a bit. Take out the clutters of the mind, the clutters of the noise, and maybe, just maybe, right now, you're in your soft season. I think, don't rush it. Even in stillness, you're still growing, you're still learning. And someday you'll look back at this still moment of your life. You'll look back at the silence and think, that was actually necessary to happen. Okay, next letter we have here is, Dear Midnight Ghost, I'm scared of what's coming. I keep on imagining every bad thing that could happen, and it honestly makes me freeze. How do you live when everything feels so uncertain? That is really tough. How does one live when things feel a bit uncertain? Honestly, I think the trick is, as much as you can, try to not live for tomorrow. That's a little bit of an ironic thing to say for someone who goes in and out of the realm of the dead and the realm of the living. But sometimes you just have to live for the tiny breaths between the now and the then. Between your period of living and your period of not so living, I think. Think of the sound of the rain, or the smell of a good cup of coffee, or soft pillows, cold blankets. The warmth, everything small things that make you happy. The way your chest still rises and falls. The way you still hear your favorite song every day. And sometimes that's it. Sometimes that's enough. The future is a story that honestly hasn't been written yet, I think. And you, my dear listener, my darling, you're still holding the pen. You still have the power to write, rewrite, scratch things off, and make things work. And I think this is our last letter for tonight. It says, Hi, Makeeya. Thank you so much for hearing me out. I don't really have a question. I just really needed to tell someone I'm lonely. That's all. Ah, this kind of warms my heart, really. I appreciate the trust. I appreciate that you took the time to really send this short thing just to let me know, just to find, I guess, solace in my companionship. You've come to the right frequency. You're not alone. I guess not while you're here. Even the silence is listening. I am listening. Tonight, if you'd like to drop by, to show up for more chats, to show up just to say hi and just let me know. I'd love to have you here. Just let me know, my dear, my darling. And probably we can work something out. And probably you can tell me a bit more about what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and maybe we can talk about it. We can chat about it. Gosh, thank you so much, my sleepless souls, for trusting me with your worries, trusting me with your thoughts, and trusting me with your heart, with your mind, with whatever it is that's keeping you up tonight. Honestly, the living world can be loud and unkind. But here, in the quiet of the midnight radio, have some rest. You can rest for a while. Your thoughts are safe here, and so are you. Alright, I think that's it for the letters for tonight. And once again, thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate these small messages, these small thoughts that you're sharing with me. And this is what I want the Midnight Radio to be about. I just want to talk to you all, exist here, exist in this little space, and see how we can just, find solace here. Sometimes the land of the living is just too much. It's crazy, it's confusing, it's loud, it's noisy, it's just way too overwhelming, right? And maybe in this small space, there's something that we can just work on, find peace in, and just have a good night, a good time. And I also want to give a quick shout out to Pochi Sab, who made this really, really cute art. It's so wonderfully done, so thank you so much. I met them at the Patron of the Arts Halloween event last week, and I absolutely loved how they loved how I looked. I honestly had this commissioned, and I just wanted to just show them. I kind of wanted to have new art, especially one that's done traditionally, so I showed it over to them, and they were just really happy to see how I looked. And I'm really, really thankful for that. So thank you so much for your kind words and this really amazing art, Pochi-sab. I appreciate it. And before I sign off tonight, I want to talk to the ones who are tired, the ones lying awake, staring at the ceiling, feeling that familiar heaviness in their chests. Maybe you've been holding it together all day. Smiling when you didn't want to. Saying you're fine when honestly you weren't. Maybe you're just exhausted from pretending to be okay. I know that weight very, very well. I carried it once too, even after I was gone. Strange, isn't it? The way we think we have to bear everything alone, as if asking for rest makes us weak. But it doesn't. It makes us human. It makes you human. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is to stop fighting the tide, to just probably let it float. Let yourself float for a little while. Let yourself learn. Let yourself see where the journey is taking you. Let the world spin. Let the world spin for once without you. Let it go. Watch it as it runs. Watch it as it moves. Let your bones go heavy for a bit. Let your breath go slow. Honestly, the world won't collapse if you take a break, I promise. I promise. Even ghosts like me need nights off of haunting, I guess. But I do too. So if you're listening right now, with tired eyes and the heart that's been too loud and heavy lately, rest. Not because you've earned it, but because you deserve it. Because you exist, my dear dead air darling, you exist. And that alone is reason enough to put the weight down, even for just a little while. I promise the world will still be here when you wake. And so will I. So will I. Waiting for you in the quiet when you tune back in to the Midnight Radio. Once again, this has been your phantom broadcaster, Makeeya of the Midnight Radio, broadcasting from nowhere, but always here for you. Until the next one, sleep well, dream deep, and don't let the shadows get lonely.